Marquise joins. Hi, everybody. All right, we'll start about now. So here's the situation. I'm not sure. Some of you may know this. Some of you may not. We're supposed to hold a live session once a week, which is good. I want to anyways, but that's what we'll be doing. We'll be doing at least once a week, and I'll let you know via Google Classroom. Can you guys, by text, just go ahead and write to me and tell me either what are the best ways to contact you? Using your school email, just doing Google Classroom, or both? So email, classroom, both. If you guys just type that up for me.
Wait, what?
So I was asking, was that Isaiah? I wanted to know, as far as to send you information, it looks like the general consensus will be both. I will send you emails and I'll put the same information on Google Classroom, which will let you know. I'm going to send you emails that will say we're going to have a Zoom meeting. I'll put the information on Google Classroom as well. And then if there's a Google Classroom assignment, then I might just email you and say, check your Google Classroom. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. I want you guys to have the ability, I will post this on Google Classroom. And actually I should have done that this morning. I just, working from home gets a little bit, I shouldn't say a little bit, a very, very lot distracting because I have 2 young children. So right now I'm actually not at home. I'm at my in-laws' house. They take care of my children once a week. They've always been doing that. And my father-in-law used to take my son to school a lot. So we've already shared whatever germs and everything. So we come over here, go over there. So I have 2 places to visit, which is kind of nice, but I don't go anywhere beyond that. And I hope you guys are holding tight and not getting too close to anybody else outside your immediate family. I know it's extremely tough, as I've been doing it myself for the most part. So here's what we're going to be doing. I want you guys to have access to Storyboard and Google and Harmony. I have codes to send you. I'll send you that information today so that you could sign on and get those programs loaded. Please contact me. It doesn't have to be during this hour. Contact me anytime. Send me an email is a great way to do it, which I've been sending you guys emails from my school account, which is jmagademan@centerusd.org. And I'll type it here. So if you need to contact me there, and I will respond as best I can, usually within, sometimes it's immediate, sometimes it's a couple of hours. It just depends if I'm working, developing more material for people to work with or grading or whatever it is. I'm not constantly on my email like some people are, but I'll do the best I can, get back to you as quick as possible. Definitely during these hours. So for this class, 9 to 10, I will be here for you, and I will stay online constantly. The Zoom, I don't know if I'm going to run the Zoom for the full hour, but I'll have my email in front of me and you can check with me. So we'll have Storyboard and Harmony. For those of you that need to make up assignments, please jump on top of it. Now, I know that some of you had trouble with certain assignments, and what I'm going to do is go back, and because all of your materials are at home, I'm going to grab my materials and see if I could get it online, see if you're able to download stuff from a drive. I'll do a test run from my computer to another computer to see if I can put a full project up and then download it on a different computer so that you have files to work with. That way, if you don't have access to a drawing pad or don't have the ability to recreate files, or let's say you've already created files and you're like, oh man, I was at this certain step and I don't have access to my files, I'll just give you stuff that I created. So what I'm basically explaining here is, for instance, let's say you had trouble, if anybody of you had trouble with the flying project, I will give you all the layers, but they will all be together, and then you have to go in and separate it out. I will also make tutorials to show you each step by itself. Each step will be a tutorial in itself to show you, here's how you separate layers. Here's how we animate the bird. Here's how we attach the camera. They'll all be separate tutorials to send to you to fix that problem. What I need to know is, for those of you that need to make up, get a better grade in those or make it up, if any of you online right now need that information, can you type to me, I need help with jump and flip. If you could just type that up, just so I could see in the chat. So jump and flip and flying are the three major ones that I know people might have had problems with. Well, thanks, Isaiah. So there's that end of things, and I am going to give you projects, small projects to work on over time in Harmony. Again, if you don't have the ability to create your own, I will supply you with the materials, being the drawings, whatever drawings that you make to create something.
Could you wait? Could you repeat that, please? You lagged out and you froze for a couple seconds.
All right, that's totally awesome because I just learned a new slang word, lag. Did you lag out? So there may be I want you guys to learn storyboard a little bit, and there may be something on Harmony in which I want you guys to learn, and it just depends on time, because we want to learn a little bit about storyboard. Now, storyboard, the basics of it is storyboard is kind of like creating if you're going to create a big movie, you want to create what's called an animatic. Actually, first you want to create a storyboard and then turn it into an animatic. A storyboard is to sit there and take the script and say, okay, here's how we're going to visually represent the script in an animation form. You don't have to do it long. I just want you to understand the basics of it. But I would like you to do at least 3 to 10, somewhere in there, little drawings. And the drawings will be consecutive, like here's a scene. Here's what's going to happen. Here's a pose. Here's the next pose. What's the matter, Jolene?
Nothing. I read something. The definition of flag.
Oh, lag, a phenomenon in video games. Nice. So it's one thing's happening. So let's say, I'm in a scene and I'm like, look up there. And then the next thing you see is a plane flying by. So you draw the plane. It's scissors. Straight plane flying by. And so you do these different things in the storyboard to tell the story of a script. So what I would do is give you a short scene script, and then you would create these little storyboards. And then what you do is an animatic is taking the storyboards and adding sound and timing to it. If you have any like Disney or Pixar animations, a lot of those will have in their special features, they'll have some form of the animatic, so you can see what that is.
Is that like the black and white, just like the rough sketching and stuff? Yeah,
it's a rough sketching, and it just kind of shows here's what is going on in the story. And animatic in particular, they will have the voiceovers. And sometimes it'll be a song that you may see, see if you have like Frozen or something. It may be a song that you may, that they may be showing you what happens in it. Very nice, Jarrett. Very nice. So there's that. Yeah, there's fun things you can do with Zoom. You could actually even change your background. I'm not going to get into that, but if you want to play around, I don't mind. So on Google Classroom, I will add, you're killing Jolene. She's loving it.
He's an embarrassment.
Is it Battlestar Galactica? What is that? Yeah? Oh.
Okay.
So you yourself are a green screen.
It's freaking Persona, that's what it is.
It's what?
Persona 5. You're an embarrassment.
I know, it's hard to see. Okay, so the other thing that we need to do, and we're actually going to focus more on this than anything, we're going to go through the MSI K-12 stuff. If anybody There was like 3 of our students, and I don't remember who they were off the top of our head, that did not do chapters 1 and 2. If you did not do chapters 1 and 2, get on it, and you have to go do chapters 1 and 2. But that stuff that we did before we stopped attending the campus, before we got kicked off campus, we had already done chapters 1 and 2. So if you missed it, you're on your own to make that up. We're on chapter 3 right now. Everybody should be starting with chapter 3. And what happens, what I'm going to be doing with this is I'm going to create a quiz. Each quiz is worth 50 points. The quiz is already available. Let me see if I actually put it online. Let me jump into my Google Classroom. I created the quiz. I think okay. So I will also put that quiz online today, but you're going to go and sign into MSI K-12. If anybody forgets their login information, I'm going to mute all for a second. So if anybody forgot their login information, please let me know and I'll get your login information to you. So as you're going through MSI K-12, there's a couple things I want you to really understand that it kind of glosses over very fast in the book. Daniel's just joining us right now. Give me one second. Daniel, can you just give me word if you can hear me? Daniel, either type to me in a chat or let me know verbally.
What number is this? 1, 2, 3. This is working. So it's going to be.
Daniel, can you type to me? Let me know if you could hear me. I guess you can. He'll have to look at this later. Okay, so one of the main things that is in this chapter 3 that I think they gloss over too fast is what's called straight ahead animation versus pose to pose. Now, one of my favorite books, in case any of you are interested in continuing in animation, it's this book right here. Oh, that's backwards for you. It's The Animator's Survival Kit by Richard Williams. Okay? It's a great book, The Animator's Survival Kit by Richard Williams. I'll type that up. It really, really breaks it down extremely well. And I'm going to share with you some images that are taken from that book. Let's pop on my desktop. You're about to see what I see. Here's some images from that book that will help explain pose to pose. Now, straight ahead, there's no images in here necessarily, but when we get to the end of the pose to pose, then I'll explain straight ahead. Pose to pose is where you first draw what are called keyframes. They call them keys. So as you see here on the left side of the screen, you see a man walking, then kind of a little bit right of center, he's picking up a piece of chalk, and then he's at the board and he's drawing. Those keyframes, similar to what we do in, who's drawing on my screen? Similar to what we do in Harmony, it's a point within the time frame of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all those frames. Now, after you draw the keyframes, these red ones are the extremes. So in this case, he's walking. Every time he makes a contact on the floor with his foot, that is considered an extreme in this case. That's kind of a standard thing. Being when walking, it's when they make contact with the floor. So in this situation, that's an extreme. Then he goes on. He has little notes here. Maybe see chalk here, so that means the eyes will move down. Then he goes on and puts the in-betweens, the passing position or breakdown, they call it here. So BDWN is their abbreviation for breakdown. So there's 2 terms right here, passing position or breakdown. He's drawn it in blue. So as you see, the red ones are with contact, and in blue, it's how you get from the previous position to the breakdown, to the extreme. And then in between, the blue again, then the extreme, then in between, the extreme, etc.